Welcome back to Large Buttered Popcorn. My name is Freya.
I'm Kalani.
And we're back. We took a little break just due to Kalani being away from for a work trip. So this episode is going to be slightly longer because we're discussing movies that we saw into last week and then this week as well. So it's going to be a bit of a longer episode. We got quite a few movies to talk about. A lot of two of the big blockbusters for this year that everyone loves and we love too. So we can't wait to tell you our opinions of them. Anything else? Anything you want to add?
Not particularly. Just excited to talk about some great movies.
Yeah, me too. We haven't really been watching movies at home recently. We've kind of been locked into gaming recently. Mm-hmm. We've been playing Dead Space, which that's super fun. You can definitely tell from the score of the game how heavily inspired it is by the classic sci-fi horror movies.
It's so
your
good,
Alien, your Predator.
Absolutely.
And it's great. It's terrifying, but it's great. And particularly the score is one of my favorite things of the game.
Sound design in the game is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then we've also been locked into our puzzle games. Me and Kalani love a good puzzle game. It's a really good sort of game genre to play together. And we've been playing, is it the Legend of Galley House or the
Incident at Galley House?
The Incident at Galley House.
It's made by the same developers that remade The Root Trees Are Dead. It's a cool kind of uncover the mystery kind of game. It's very cool. Yeah,
so that's been super fun to play. We've just been enjoying our time together. I think I mentioned either last episode or this episode, I did get a job. So I've been working hard, and I've also been working hard at going back to college. I'm starting community college classes, and I'm very excited for that. It's going to be very fun. It's in a subject that I'm very passionate about. I'm very excited to get into that. So we've been busy.
Yeah, very.
But still had time to get to AMC, use our A-list subscriptions.
Always.
And yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hop in?
Yeah, we're just gonna jump into the movies. Okay, so starting with the Odyssey. This is directed by Christopher Nolan, and it stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Himesh Patel, Zendaya, etc., etc., and we both rated it a 4.5.
Yeah.
So, starting off with this movie, it's awesome. It's sort of everything that it's hyped up to be. It really is this great legend, this great myth on screen, and Christopher Nolan, I think it's his use of the practical effects makes it really feel like you're really watching this happen.
Makes the epic feel grounded but still huge.
Yes, it's so good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Everyone's performance in it is awesome.
Excellent cast. It feels like the casting was perfect.
Yeah.
For Nolan's vision, I think this casting was perfect.
Yeah, everyone just fulfills their role so well within this movie.
And maybe it's a case of letting the actors do what comes natural so that the character feels natural, but it worked.
That's the big thing for me is just how fantastical it all really feels, and I do really truly believe it is through the use of the practical effects. The first time I really felt it was when they come across the giant in the cave for the first time, and you can tell that this giant is a man with prosthetics on.
Yeah.
So it just makes the movements of the giant feel all the more real while you're watching it. The other island they come across with the other giants.
Yeah, the giant silver guys. They did things like using people with shorter stature, little people to kind of accentuate this difference between size. Then Cersei, that whole bit, that's crazy.
Yeah,
they created special animatronics that could be molded the way so that the actors could mold their faces. That's crazy.
It's really good, and that's really my biggest love for this movie is just how truly fantastical it feels. And I'm a huge, I mean, I'm not a hater of CGI or any sort of post-production computer generated effects, but I like have a true appreciation for like puppeteering and like, you know, monster kind of makeup and, you know, all this like real sort of practical effects. And you know, this is like one of the movies in recent memory that is like, whoa, this is like that shows like the effort of having these practical effects really does pay off.
It does. It really comes through. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I had a big take, like the big like win for this movie for me, it'd be it's in this world where magic is real. The God's presence is felt. Whether they're real or not is another question, or you know. But it's a story that has all these fantastical elements, but it's so grounded and about people at the end of the day. There's a lot of movies that get caught up with the fantastic elements. They almost end up being distractions from the narrative. But I think this movie never loses sight of, oh, this is a movie about people, about particularly one person and the kind of the bonds between people, what the unseen ones, the ones that are obvious, the ones that are, you know, maybe primal, the ones that you know, are maybe like imagined. I think this movie nailed it. This movie has a clear point by the time you get to the end. And I think it absolutely delivers on that.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's kind of in a way like every single person in this, and I guess because it follows such an ancient fictional story. Every single person plays kind of like a different phenotype of a person, kind of, where like, you know, Tom Holland's character is the sort of naive, younger, determined to prove their worth kind of young man. You've got Robert Pattinson's character, he's like overconfident, sort of man who thinks like he's deserving of all this power,
like selfish.
That being said, like with the women characters like Anne Hathaway, and like this isn't a critique of Christopher Nolan, although like some people would say this, I don't know how much you have to work with an ancient fictional story from an era of a time that like didn't even let women leave their homes kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like how much does he have to work on? I'm not sure.
I think Anne Hathaway might be his most fleshed out female character that I've seen. I haven't seen Inception though. I know there's a couple characters in there.
But then like obviously Odysseus.
Odysseus
he's just like the.
It's not spelled out either. It's like it's like. The whole movie is like his character development.
Yeah, really it is. But he's kind of, Odysseus is meant to be the character that the reader puts themselves into, of like going on this journey of discovery, of like not always being sure of stuff, but you know, wanting the best for the people around him, and maybe that doesn't work out, and you know how he deals with this. So I like the characters are great. You know, and I've spoken about this before, I'm a fan of like historical costuming. I can tell that like this is again a fictional story. Like this is the thing that like I think everyone needs to remember when watching the Odyssey. And like if you have any complaints about the costuming or like the vibes or like the background, you need to remember like the Odyssey was written in an ancient civilization in an ancient time. So like even the people of the ancient civilization, when they were reading this story, like, oh, this was like 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, like this happened a long time ago. So to say like, the Greek armor isn't right, the women wouldn't have worn that, blah blah blah, hey, this isn't a real story. This was like a freaking science fiction story that was written in an ancient civilization about an ancient time.
And as if the people reading the stories at the time had photographs, had
Yeah.
you know, it really, there's a good chance Nolan's vision is just as common among at that time than the actual realistic depictions.
And again, like, this is the whole reason why, like, the film opens up with, like, a bard who is played by Travis Scott, a bard beginning to tell the story, because that's how it would have passed down. We don't have, like, an original copy of the Odyssey. It doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist. So the story of the Odyssey that we have now has just been passed down through verbal communication, through song, and whoever had these abilities to be able to write it down have then written it down, and then that's been passed on and it's been rewritten. Like, you have to think that every single piece of writing, every single book, every single pamphlet prior to the inventing of the printing press was handwritten. So
Absolutely.
like, hey, like, some, like, by time we're getting, like, the Odyssey gets to, like, say, like, medieval Europe or, like, medieval England, like, a monk, because it would have been up to the monks who would write down this stuff. A monk could have, like, read it and been like, oh, I actually don't like this, I'm gonna, like, just change it, I'm gonna rewrite it. And then that's what then gets passed along. So, like, for everyone who's like, like, even this version of the Odyssey that he, like, the book that he based his movie on is a translation from someone who's alive today.
Yeah.
So, like, and, like, the lady who did the translation actually is kind of like, oh, I actually don't really, like his interpretation, but, like,
Fair
I'm
enough.
happy he used my book.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, yeah, like, like, this is what I just think we need to remember is, like, it's a fictional story. It's not real. So, yeah, sure, the armor is fantastical looking. It's a fantastical story. It's a fantastical movie. It's crazy they gave Benny Safdie a large amount of aura in every single scene.
He got to have his armor in the underworld when he died naked.
Yeah. So yeah, I really have no complaints about the costuming. Is it super memorable? No, not really, but like yeah, like that looks cool. Yeah. It looks cool.
That's memorable, but
yeah.
If I had one real another real like take to kind of put out there, it'd be I think, you know, along with, you know, not original take, I think the framing of Odysseus the trickster, and that the Trojan horse, this being a kind of shameful act, I thought that was genius. I think it's very of the times. I think it reframes the Odyssey in a very contemporary way, where, like, you know, frankly every war, every kind of battle, victory that we kind of look upon now, you know, it all has that tinge of, oh yeah, this, you know, this loss, this kind of underhandedness, this idea of, like, you know, history is written by the victors. You know, you go and we talk about any of these European wars during this time, and frankly, a lot of the vibe is, oh yeah, was this a pissing contest? I mean, it was a pissing contest. It was over property. It was over ego, and this idea kind of, yeah, and this is the way you view it now. Meanwhile, at the time, people were dying for this cause.
Yeah.
People were absolutely dying for this cause. And, you know, we look back on things like the atomic bomb at the time. People, you know, that drops. Newspapers the next day, we did it. We did drop the biggest bomb. We did it. We did. Now we look back at that time, and it's like,
it's shameful.
That was one of the single worst things that happened in human history. It was horrible. This idea of clever victories, of victory being framed as shameful in retrospect. It's interesting. It's very modern. And it feels appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've got anything else to say?
No chance it hasn't been said by every person on this
Yeah,
sun.
we are kind of like
a little late to the party.
Yeah, we're putting out our Odyssey opinions a little late, but that's just due to the fact that we literally saw it late because we were waiting for Kalani to come back off his trip.
But it's a good movie. You know, one of those things like, what stopped us from being 5 stars instead of 4 out of 5 for you? 4.5 out of 5.
Like I say, sometimes, like, I just, I feel like a 5-star is like, I'll know it's a 5-star when I like leave the theater. Again, it could grow into a 5-star.
Yeah.
There's actually like several movies from last year that were a 4.5 when I left, and then like upon a few months later thinking about it, then it's become a 5. Like even this year, like when I originally left Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, that was a 4.5 to me. Now it's a clear 5 because it's hilarious.
Sometimes it's just how it sticks around in your head afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
And like 4.5 was my impression at the theater, but like
exactly.
like you, I feel like we're planning to see it in IMAX 70mm in a month or so. It might go up to a 5-star then. This movie, it feels like it has depth, feels like it has intention. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, definitely. That's like it really just is kind of like an off the bat feeling. Like I don't feel that life changing 5-star moment from leaving the theater, but again, seeing it in 70mm could change that. And also, a month of reflection could be like, oh no, that's a clear 5.
Yeah, and it's a movie where I imagine once it hits streaming, if family said, "Oh, do you want to watch the Odyssey?" I'd be like, "Oh, hell yeah,
yeah, of course." Like Odyssey's, it's awesome. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that's the only reason that it's a 4.5 for me right now.
Sorry, it looks like our my mic cut out for just a moment, but you heard our thoughts. We think it's great. We'd rewatch it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to our next movie we're going to discuss. Next, we are going to discuss Her Private Hell. This is directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, and it stars Sophie Thatcher, Charles Melton, Havana Rose Liu, and others. And we both rated it a 2. I'm just going to say this right now. I think I'm going to put it down to a 1.5.
That's fair.
Yeah. This movie is just kind of like a whole lot of nothing. It's kind of confusing. It feels like it's like kind of trying too hard to have like a defined aesthetic when it like doesn't really work out. I enjoy basically like every actor in this movie in other projects that they've done. I can't say I enjoyed too much of their performances in this, but then it comes a case of like what did the director give for you to do? Yeah, it was just a very unfortunate movie for me. There were like certain aspects of it that I enjoyed. There's one action scene that was like really fun. Actually, you know what? That's actually probably the only thing I can say is like the thing that I enjoyed. Unfortunately,
I like you. I enjoyed the performances were solid. The question is, what's it in service of a bit? But like I enjoyed most of the scenes in the hotel room where they're just talking. I kind of wish those scenes were connected in a different way. Thing with this movie, it's rough. The narrative feels a little incomprehensible. I feel like I'm having trouble connecting what's meant to be connected. I think it might be like an attempt to kind of be like a Lynch film where it's like very dreamlike and very esoteric. But I get it feels like maybe it's a thin line between being dreamlike and being kind of put together and feeling incomprehensible. I'm sure maybe the dots connected for other people in that way, but walking out of the movie and thinking about it, I just can't place anything. Because I feel so just disjointed from the movie. Honestly, to the point where I'd say I'm almost apathetic of the plot. It almost feels it's not worth going into a lot of the themes and potentially some of the more problematic parts of it, because it's just kind of like
it's one of those movies where like if you were already excited to go see it, you were gonna go see it. Like if you're a fan of these actors, or like it just seemed like an interesting like surrealist kind of movie to you, you were like already planning on going to see it. And then those people who were already going to see it, like us, are going into it and leaving like disappointed because it's just like in service of nothing. And you see like these two like up and coming female actors who like it's like exciting to see them in a movie. Like I love Havana Rose Liu. I love Sophie Thatcher. I love both of them. So like in my head, I'm like, wow, it's really exciting to see these two in a movie together. But then when you see like their relationship and there is a third friend in the equation, it's kind of like a really awful representation of female friendships. Or like female relationships in general, because there is kind of like a romantic kind of sexual theme behind them also, but like it just feels like this male director has like no clue or like interest in learning about like a real female relationship.
Like I almost am like I if the movie was better, I feel like it would almost be a more interesting conversation to have about it. But I'm just like I don't understand. I feel like I just don't even understand the movie.
Yeah, me neither. It's like it just doesn't feel like anything. Like it's so unfortunate that it ended up this way. I feel like that it could have been something. I felt excited going into it.
Could it be a case of just the difference between sticking the landing and not?
Work. Yeah, it just didn't work. It felt it felt kind of cheap in places. Yeah, like it just didn't feel like there was much effort put into some stuff. And yeah, it really fell flat. And the more I think about it, the more I get annoyed at it, at like the movie as a whole. I get annoyed that it ended up this way, because I feel like with such a great cast, it could have been something really great, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, that's like I said my piece on this.
Yeah, me too. If it's not trying to give it like the benefit of the doubt, or like say that there's going to be people out there who enjoy it, because like I said earlier, there's a certain demographic of people who will be looking to go see this film, and it's already the demographic of people who have discussed how much they didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, if someone's brain kind of connects whatever dots this movie wants you to connect, I'm sure you'll enjoy it more, but it felt like it didn't work for me.
Yeah, me too.
I don't really have any suggestions. I don't have any ideas. It just didn't work for me, and that's okay.
Yeah, it happens. But that being said, I look forward to whatever Sophie Thatcher and Havana Rose Liu are in next. All right, next we are going to discuss Motor City. This is directed by Pozzi Ponsiroli. Pozzi Ponsiroli, and it stars Alan Ritchson, Shailene Woodley, Ben Foster, and others. And I rated it a 3, and Kalani rated it a 3.5. Now again,
2.5.
Oh yeah, sorry, a 2.5. Now again, this is one of those movies that I think I'm gonna put down. Upon like watching it and leaving the theater, I did enjoy it.
And it's a cute novelty.
But then I'm like comparing it to other movies of like that I've given a 3, and I'm like, did I enjoy it as much as this movie? And I'm like, not sure I did.
Yeah, I think this movie kind of has a novelty to it. It says, it's supposed to be this kind of old action style movie, but the trick is there's very, very minimal dialogue. And that's kind of the fun experiment with this movie. And you have Alan Richardson. He's huge, so you walk in expecting him to like raise some hell from the get go. It's a fun movie. I think it's 20 minutes too long. Yeah,
that's like kind of like the more I thought about it after we've seen it, and I would agree with you. Like for an action movie, for like I would say like the first sort of 2/3 of the movie, there's like not a lot of action at all. It's like more of like a drama kind of,
and that's okay, but without dialogue, how exciting can the drama
be? Exactly.
So you compare this to a couple of other similar movies where the protagonist does not speak. In Sisu 2, obviously this has nowhere near the same amount of action as Sisu 2. I walked in with the expectation that there'd be more action.
Yeah,
so that was a little. This is the type of movie I would usually rate higher. And then you compare this to The Furious, and then it's like, well, there's 3 action scenes in Motor City, and there's about 50 in The Furious. So that's the movies I'm comparing this one to, and I think these are the most appropriate movies to compare it to.
Yeah, no,
and
I would agree.
I feel like it needed more action, and it needed to pick up the pace a little bit. There were points in time where we had extended slow-mo scenes.
Yeah.
And I didn't. It didn't feel cinematic. It didn't feel dramatic. I kind of was thinking, all right, let's get to the next part.
Yeah, and I unfortunately think upon me leaving, I got jaded by the music choices within the movie. I love like 70s music. I love 70s disco.
I think overall this is a pretty good playlist.
Yeah, it's really good, but I think that's
playlist.
Like kind of what jaded me into like giving it that 3-star was just like how much I enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
But
good
then again,
playlist,
like,
at least, yeah.
could I just like not put on like a playlist
Like,
and be like happy with that too?
This would be a fun movie to actually like plug in your own playlist too. That'd be kind of interesting.
But yeah, that's like my opinion. I did enjoy the story of it, you know, the kind of like
it was cute,
seeking revenge for love kind of story.
Ooh, I'll be honest, the last scene almost had me put it to a 3. I love the last scene. Spoiler alert. The movie's last scene, the bad guy gets away, and then there's a fast forward to however many decades later. The bad guy's in a retirement home and he gets a letter with some pictures. It says, "You were really hard to find." He puts some envelope down. Here's a gun cock, and there's old Alan Richardson in the corner with a shotgun, and it was pretty. That was a really good last scene. If you like some cheese.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That was really fun.
If you like some cheese, that was a good last. That in my heart, I'm still debating whether like. I love that scene.
Yeah, it was just a fun movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing like incredibly special. Like we say, we have our gripes with it. We wish it was a little bit more like action orientated rather than just putting all of the full on action in the last sort of third of the movie.
I feel like it took itself a little seriously, where I think some of the there could have been a bit more. I don't want to say comedy in the action, but maybe a bit just. I don't know, more fun in the action. I'm not sure. Like I compare this with CC2 and The Furious, and I know which movies I enjoyed more. That's all. But I think this movie was interesting. I don't regret seeing it. I did like it. Overall, I did like it. But
yeah, like I said, it's an interesting premise, like something I feel like I've never seen before. But then outside of that, it's kind of just like your average movie, and yeah, we've got points we really enjoy about it, points that we don't like as much, but
if it was 20 minutes shorter, I'd give it
overall it was an enjoyable movie. I just don't know if now looking back on it, I still enjoy it as much as I thought I did. So I think I would probably like put it down to a 2.5 rather than a 3 currently.
Yeah, but Motor City, it was fun. I'm glad we got to see it.
Yeah, me too. Next, we're going to discuss One Night Only. This is directed by Will Gluck and stars Monica Barbara, Callum Turner, Maya Hawke, Julia Fox, Molly Ringwald, and others. And we both rated it a 3.
Maybe in my heart, I might put this one at 3.5. But this is a movie where so many people are very down on the premise.
Yeah, it is honestly, it is an insane premise.
I thought it was super funny, so I was looking forward to this more than Freya and my sister were, and it was the Monday night mystery movie at AMC. Walked in pretty confident it was One Night Only, so this movie actually and for my sister and Freya, this movie hit better than you thought it would.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I was kind of like ready to go in and like hit on this movie because it is like a crazy premise, especially when we're living in a culture of rising purity culture.
And the movie plays on that.
Yeah, exactly. But like I just didn't know actually what I was going in for. Like I didn't know if I was literally going into like pro chastity, pro purity culture. Propaganda. Like I literally did not know what I was going in for, and it turned out to like literally like play on the ridiculousness of the idea of like kind of like playing on this whole like weirdness of purity culture and how it's kind of a product of the right wing machine.
This movie everything. The one thing that's important for a rom-com, the jokes were good.
Yeah.
And the romance was solid. It was built up over the movie.
Yeah.
In a satisfying way, and the comedy was actually really solid.
Yeah, it was. There was like really good parts. There was like funny sort of like continuous bits that like got built on throughout the film.
And you know what? The narrative never had a big lull where I was just like, let's get on. Like every little bit was like felt fun and necessary.
Yeah, the two main characters also had like great chemistry actually, of like the whole sort of will they work their situation where ultimately they are gonna end up together.
But they played with it really well.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. The movie's really fun. I think if you're down on it, I'd say see it. I'll say like flat out, if you like rom-coms in general, go see it. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's really like, I think you should go see it. I mean, the director has made like a bunch of other popular rom-coms or like comedies that people enjoy, and I feel like you won't be disappointed by this.
Yeah.
There's also like you can tell there's like involvement from like SNL people.
Oh yeah.
Which is fun.
Fun celebrity cameos and such.
Fun celebrity cameos.
Yeah, I think a lot of the bits and set pieces are actually really something when I think about it. Like, the whole like price gouging for condoms is hilarious.
Yeah.
When they have to get the condom out of there, that whole bit was fun.
Yeah, it is just genuinely like a fun movie. Now, is it the best thing I've ever seen? Is it the best comedy I've ever seen? No, but it's a fun rom-com.
It's really fun.
Callum Turner's like hilarious in it. I feel like I haven't, like, he's funny in Eternity too.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I like didn't expect him to like be funny, but like he was.
Yeah, this movie's solid. I like it.
Which is bizarre because we've seen like this like whole like Callum Turner fatigue rhetoric.
It's very strange.
Bro is like, he's like not
movies.
a popular actor. He's been in like 4 movies his
like
whole
wide release
career.
movies,
Yeah. So it's like bizarre, like this guy, like you guys are all like, ooh, I want to see new faces, ooh, I want to see new actors, and then as soon as like a new actor starts getting popular, you're like, I don't want to see him anymore.
No, I think this movie is great. I think Mr. Barbaro is great too. This movie is really fun.
Okay. Next, we're going to discuss I Want Your Sex. This is directed by Greg Araki, and it stars Olivia Wilde, Cooper Hoffman, Mason Gooding, Chase Sui Wonders, Daveed Diggs, and Charlie XCX, and others. And I rated it a 4.5, and Kalani rated it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably like my movie of the week. This movie was awesome. We've previously discussed how I'm like very interested in like the psychology and the history of sex and kink. And this was like just a kinky movie. And it's fun to see. We live in a time where like there's a lot of male, not to be not to make the joke, but like any sort of movie on kink is male dominated doms. Mm-hmm. It's always the man in the relationship as the dominant one of the BDSM relationship. So it was really fun to see like the roles switched, and we see a woman as the dom in this situation, who is Olivia Wilde. I'm like obsessed with Olivia Wilde now. Ever since The Invite, we watched Don't Worry Darling, and now this. I'm like, I didn't know what Olivia Wilde was bringing to the table.
Olivia Wilde she's she got a fire.
Awesome. But as well as the story of the movie dealing with BDSM, it also does like discuss like grooming, like power imbalances.
And there's an acknowledgement of it there, but there's also an interesting there's an acknowledgement. There's also a kind of it happens kind of a attitude towards it. I'm not saying it's necessarily good or bad, just an acknowledgement that it happens.
Yeah. It also deals with themes of, like, again, so kind of similar to like what we discussed in the last movie, the rise of purity culture within like Gen Z. How a lot of Gen Z are kind of scared to like just have these sexual experiences, and that's not like a bad nor a good thing, you know. It's totally up to the person, but it's interesting to like discuss that like these previous generations do have some of these experiences that Gen Z are just deciding to miss out on.
I think this movie might, I wouldn't say it's saying it's bad, but it's definitely critiquing that mindset.
Yeah, well,
and kind of challenging it.
Greg Araki in like a interview or like at a Q&A for this movie literally was like, well, you know, I'm in my 60s now, and like, but like even like in my 40s and 50s, you know, I'm still like going out and like trying new things and like things that like I'm scared of, and like that's the whole part of like being a person, is like going out and trying things that you're scared of, going out of your comfort zone. You know, it's I really like it because, again, like, you can put the pieces together that I'm interested in sex and kink culture in what I'm interested in. Do you know what I mean? So I think like Gen Z should be going out there and trying these things. And it's like sometimes they hear this and they like, it's like, oh, but like I'm with someone. Like, no, it's like a thing to do together. Like, you can like do this as a pair. And I guess it also comes down to like, you know, this anxiety of sex is like they're even scared to just discuss boundaries or like what they expect in a sexual situation with their partner. Like, it's okay to like sit down and have a discussion with your partner about like, hey, I would like to try spanking. And then if your partner turns around and goes, oh, well, I don't know if I would be comfortable being spanked, but, you know, I would do the spanking. Then it's like, okay, well, like, yeah, we'll try it.
Yeah, this movie...
And that's what it's basically, like, just, like, trying to get people to try stuff, you know? Live your life.
Yeah, and you're touching on it, and we've talked about it, but this movie is a coming-of-age movie. And no pun intended. But this is a coming of age movie, and it's you know, a lot of the times coming of age movies may be about, you know, going in a new environment and trying new things, trying something new career wise, you know, falling in love the first time, and you know, and trying to spend your money in some way to try to get rich quick. You know, there's all these coming of age movies about money, about love, about experiences, about locations. And I think this is this is a movie that's a coming of age movie about sex and saying, oh yeah, it's okay. You know, we all know it's okay to have a bad experience with money or location or a job or friends. It's okay. You're like, straight up, it's okay to not. You know, there's a clear line here. What I'm about to say, but it's completely okay and almost expected that that you'll have a bad experience with sex and you'll learn from it and you'll be okay. Not talking about assault.
Like, not talking about like non-consensually.
Yes. But you know, bad sexual experiences. Those will happen. It's normal. You'll be okay. Like the movie says, you'll be okay. You know, this is an extreme with the movie, but you know, this is a bizarre sexual relationship he has with his employer, where there's a power match, and he discovers a lot about himself. He discovers more about what he wants out of life. Because of this, and he kind of reevaluates like who he is, and and we see that he finds a lot of value in that, and it helps shape who he becomes.
And it's not like discussed between them on screen, but it's sort of discussed by him to one of his friends. Is about how he says like, I'm playing out my like deepest fantasies with Olivia Wilde's character. So it's clear that there must have been some kind of discussion between Olivia Wilde and Cooper Hoffman's character of like, oh, what are your fantasies? What would you like to try? And Olivia Wilde's character is giving him the space to try this out. And, you know, for the first half of the movie when they're engaging in this relationship, I was actually like, whoa, this is kind of like, yes, there is like a power imbalance, but like there's a power imbalance in like every single relationship. Like it depends like what level that is.
This is what I was saying with the acknowledgement.
What level it is. But like in a relationship, there's always going to be a partner who's maybe physically stronger than their partner. There's always going to be one member of the relationship who's financially doing better than the other partner, who makes more money. There's always going to be a partner who I'm trying to think of like another like normal power imbalance, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess who's like more physically fit than the partner. There's always going to be like some kind of power imbalance in like any kind of relationship,
and
period.
Different things work for different people. And
Exactly.
sometimes coming of age is about finding that for yourself. And you'll never know if you're afraid.
But yeah, for like the first half of the movie, I was kind of thinking, well, this is actually kind of like a good kind of dom sub relationship. And then it gets to a point where, like, you know, she starts to not do so well mentally, and then it does become like actually she's not that good of a I don't know if she has the mental capacity at the minute to be able to like handle this kind of relationship.
And it's funny, but the sexual relationship actually was never the thing that causes things to spiral. It's emotional immaturity, selfishness, just disregarding the other person's like wishes, and also big manipulation. But you know.
Another thing I think, as well as like it's like its theme of like telling people to go out and try new things. There's also like a theme of the main character is in a relationship that isn't working for either of the people in the relationship. But like it kind of feels like they just stay together out of the monotony of like every day, like because this is just what they're used to, you know. But like from the beginning, he's like in his like inner dialogue is like talking about how like he wishes they were more sexually adventurous, he wishes they did more together, he wishes they this and that. And it's not until he like experiences this other stuff that he sort of realizes, and it does come out of a place of he would like to be with Olivia Wilde's character. But once he like breaks up with his girlfriend, he kind of does realize like ultimately like it was for the better. And like that's kind of like another thing of like, even like if you're in a place where you know it's not working out, you wish things were better, it's okay to leave that behind. And yet even when you do it originally and like you break up with a partner, or you leave a job, or you know you change a college class, or like you just decide like something's not working to me, I'm gonna change something about it, and then you feel that instant regret of like, oh my god, I've messed up my life, I've done this. Like it's fine. Okay, and you don't need to settle for something that's not gonna work out for you. Like you don't need to like settle for bad sex in a relationship, you don't need to settle for, you know, a job that treats you bad. And you will feel like there's a part of you that's like, oh, did I just like make the wrong decision? Probably not.
Yeah, like there's a good chance it'll work out.
Yeah.
And if not, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
If you aren't, keep on trying, it'll get better. Yeah. Yeah, it's a solid movie. I think what stops us from being a 5 out of 5 instead of 4.5? Just doesn't have that. I guess
little... like I feel like aesthetically at some points it was lacking. I think Olivia Wilde's character looked awesome. But like some of the like aesthetic choices I just wasn't feeling as much. I feel like it could have looked a little better at times. But like I really like, for me again, it probably could go up to a 5. I loved it.
I really liked it. I gave it a 4. I think this is the case with most coming of age movies, where most movies I kind of categorize as coming of age, if I think they're good, they're almost automatically like a 3.5 or 4. They're a good coming of age experience to like. But the thing that kind of makes it makes it hit or resonate higher is literally projection. Where have I experienced this like is this like me? Is that me on screen? And things with like Moonlight or other like movies that are maybe more black or more like reflective of my individual experience. Like I'll rate it higher, and that's just that kind of thing. Like, this movie I think is very good. I also think this movie, I won't say is this movie's definitely targeted towards zillennials, which I consider myself a part of enough. Yeah, like it really is just sometimes. Oh, is that me on screen? And for some of it, yeah. For some of it, yeah. I think I really liked it too. So I'm like kind of reevaluating my own rating. I really did like it. I do definitely relate to parts of it, but if I had watched this 10 years ago, I'd probably rate it a 5. But I feel like I'm looking back on something rather than yeah. But it's good. It's really good.
Yeah,
I recommend seeing it.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, I'm not sure if it would grow to a 5 for me, but it's like a very comfortable 4.5. And it's like definitely like I could see it being in my top 10 of the year, which would be funny because I would like the Invite's like definitely in like my top 5, like even like top 3. But then we have to see like for the rest of the year because there's some really strong movies coming out.
Wicker.
But I definitely think that like Olivia Wilde's gonna be in 2 separate top 10 movies of the year for me.
What's that? Does he have another picture coming up soon?
Behemoth.
Oh yeah,
with Pedro
hopefully
Pascal.
That's good. Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm feeling good.
You ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, next we will be discussing Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and it stars Tom Holland, Zendaya, Sadie Sink, Jacob Batalon, John Bernthal, Tremel Tillman, and I rated it 4, and I actually don't have your rating.
And I rated it a 4.5.
Okay. Spider-Man. It was awesome. It was really fun.
Yeah, really good Spider-Man movie, yeah.
This felt like we like a lot of like the Marvel movies that have come out, but this kind of did feel like a true return to like that classic, the feeling you get from one of the classic Marvel movies.
Yeah, it hits every single button. Thunderbolts was probably the last like really good one, but there's
oh my god, I forgot about the Thunderbolts. I love that movie.
Thunderbolts was great. I'd probably say that one was really good, but unfortunately didn't get that public hype.
Yeah.
But like I think that one was really great. I think Spider-Man is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to spoil too much because it is still fairly fresh out of the oven.
People definitely want to see it. Spider-Man. This is absolutely Tom Holland's best performance in these Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, definitely. Felt like it. This felt like Spider-Man. Like this was awesome.
Yeah, no. The previous 3 movies did feel like a trilogy that's an origin story almost for this character to really set the stage.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. And no, it gives me a really bright light to look forward for for what Marvel kind of has planned.
Yeah, like we're nerds. We freaking love like Marvel and stuff. So but we can understand like when we were watching Fantastic Four and we waited for the end credits scene and they teased Doom and it's just like a guy with the Doom mask. We were like, okay, guys, chill out. This isn't.
There were people cheering. It was like,
this is not Robert Downey Jr.
Like
guys.
I think the majority of Marvel films are great genre movies. I think they're all great comedy even the bad ones are pretty like solid comedy action movies.
Yeah, but so we're hoping for a good we want Doomsday to do good. We want it to be fun.
I want Doomsday to be awesome. In my heart I don't have that hype yet, but I want it to be there. So.
We actually would love to do midnight release for Doomsday, but we have family members who want to go see it too, and they're not going to a midnight release.
No, that's why you have to aim for 9 a.m. so you don't have least amount of chance of being spoiled.
But Spider-Man was so good, and
if you're mildly interested in Spider-Man, go see it. It's great.
Yeah.
The action is probably my favorite out of these movies. It's a lot more practical. A lot more.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Some of the
it feels like it's happening on screen.
Yeah. Some of the shots, especially as Spider-Man's swinging through the city, were awesome. It was some of the best shots for a Spider-Man. the only thing I can think to compare it to would be like some of the shots of like Superman flying and Superman from last year. They were like awesome. The only there's one that like makes me laugh every time I see it though, because it was in the trailer. The one of like his eye inside the mask when he's like free falling. Cool. It is cool, but it does always remind me of those like those pictures of the horses where you like they take it like really close to their eye. That's like what it reminds me of every time I see it.
No, this movie does we get to see Peter Parker kind of go through it. We get to see Tom Holland like act for real, and it's really good.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I kind of wish the soundtrack was a little bit stronger.
Fair, yeah, and that's not making much of an impression in my memory.
Yeah, it had some good songs in it. I wish it had like I wish it had some more like punky kind of vibes to it.
There's one song I really like they played. I think it's when they're going to the house party.
Yeah, I just wish it had a bit of a stronger soundtrack. But apart from that, it was good. You know, it hits the emotional notes. You know, you see like flashbacks of like Aunt May. You know, you get to see him interact with his friends after, you know, they don't remember him.
Yeah, it's really good. It's you know what? Best supporting characters movie. John Bernthal was a surprising light in this movie.
Yeah.
It was really strong. Like I was actually a little worried when they announced Punisher was going to be in this movie, but it was really good.
Yeah, no, it was really good. You know, if you're gonna enjoy a Marvel movie, you know, if you're gonna enjoy Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's not really a case of like we recommend you to go see this movie because like you know you're gonna enjoy it. I think most moviegoers are gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, like you know,
I don't think this applies to any Marvel movie ever.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. But this one especially, you don't need to be one of those people who's like, oh, I haven't seen any of the other movies, I haven't watched the shows, I can't go see it. No, like, this actually doesn't apply to any Marvel movie ever. Like, you actually don't. You'll figure it out. Don't worry.
A 5-year gap in between movies. They did not expect your dad to remember that.
Yeah.
Right? They don't expect you to remember that. They're gonna go over it. It's fine.
Yeah, but like this is good. This is fun. It's a family pleaser. Kids are gonna love it. Adults are gonna like it. Your grandma, your grandpa, everyone's gonna love it. The freaking dog's gonna love it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's awesome.
This is the wide appeal blockbuster of the year, and the box office is crazy for a reason.
Yeah,
people love some Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything I wanted to add?
Yeah, I actually think this is one of the strongest performances actor-wise from most of these characters in the MCU. I guess minus John Bernthal because he's had a whole like 24 hours of being Punisher across like the series. But like you know, I think best performance from Zendaya in here.
Yeah.
Best performance for Jake Batalon in this movie. Best performance for I guess not Aunt May, but you know, and Sadie Sink and Tramel Tillman are great. I saw some people say Tramel Tillman was underused, but I feel like he was in there a fine amount.
Yeah, what you want not to reveal who his character is, but like his character doesn't need to be in there that long.
Yeah, like I think his character does all the things that he needs to do, says all the things he needs to, and gives an opportunity for Tramel Tillman to act as well, where I can say his performance was solid. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I like Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man. I like Marvel. I can't wait for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardians of the Galaxy are in Doomsday, right? Not like the new Guardians with like Rocket and.
I think honestly, I get the feeling almost everybody's gonna be in it. How long they'll be in it, who knows?
Rocket is like my favorite. Rocket's my favorite Marvel character.
I actually have no idea what to
expect. My god, I think too much about Rocket. I start thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is my favorite Marvel movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is my favorite really Marvel movie, but I can't think about it too much because it actually like makes me cry.
Yeah, like I think these movies are great more often than they're bad or good.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Thunderbolts was so good, and it just like and then also is it too much of a spoiler to say that Yelena's in Spider-Man?
No, I don't think it's a spoiler.
Yeah,
you'll see you'll see her
in Spider-Man. It's awesome.
It's fun,
She's awesome. Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Spider-Man.
Okay, lastly, we are going to talk about Sherman's March. I did want to put the date. I think it was actually 1985 it came out.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot more 70s, but I guess I don't know how long it took him to edit it. And this is directed by Ross McElwee, and we both rated it a 3.5. So this is a documentary we saw as a 4K restoration, and I think they're playing it not alongside, but like in preparation for his new documentary that's coming out. Called Remake, yeah. So we just saw this one. This was actually yesterday we saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And this documentary follows Ross McElwee as he makes the documentary, and he claims it's a documentary, of him going on the journey of Sherman's March, which was a Union General, yeah. Union General who, sort of, according to the South, waged, like, war against, like, all these, like, civilian cities and caused all this, like, destruction. And he kind of, like, just follows this path. Oh, this is what he claims he's gonna do.
I know, right? It's like it feels like like he's taking the piss by making you explain the idea. Yeah.
Follows the path of this march to document the destruction that still remains and how the people of these towns feel about it. That being said, it becomes
this guy's a trip.
Essentially a documentary of him constantly filming while trying to contact and also, like, well,
he's just flirting, trying to get some tail.
Where he meets all these different women, he gets introduced to these women who he basically dates, falls in love with, and he also contacts, like, his exes and women he's been involved with previously in an attempt to, like, he says fall in love, but he's basically just fucking around. And then when he finds out, like, the women aren't interested in him anymore, he does, like, a whole, like, oh, why don't you like me anymore?
He's a trip.
I'm, like, a good guy. Why do you like...
What's Michael got that I don't?
Yeah, why do you like him and not me? Even though I left for, like, 3 months.
He's a trip. It's funny.
It's funny,
He's a trip. Like, it's funny watching this knowing nothing because, like... 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and we're like turning to each other, like, is this guy for real?
Yeah, I'm like, where's the history in this?
We walked in, it opens up with, like, the whole overview of, like, Sherman's March, and then 45 minutes in, we're looking at each other, it's like, this guy's a trip.
Yeah, he's just, like, fucking around. Yeah. He's dating, he's, like, talking about, like, the pros and cons to all these women that he's, like, dating, when, like, he's a bum who, like, cannot put the camera down.
I developed an intense interest in linguistics, like, bro.
Yeah.
Stop.
And
funny.
Like, one of my favorite parts of the movie, the documentary, is, like, how he then continues to try and, like, it's like he, like, wants to get back on track with his original idea of, like, a historical documentary. So, like, there's parts where he's, like, at these, like, forts or, like, at these, like, historical sites from the wars. And he, like, is, like, trying to basically be like, oh, yeah, Sherman's army arrived here at this date, blah, blah, blah. And then the next scene is him, like, then just, like, talking to the woman that he's interested in that moment. So
also
it's
Burt
like
Reynolds.
Oh, yeah, and also he's, like, arch nemesis Burt Reynolds. Mm-hmm. At one point, who he, like, actually just harasses.
Yep.
Yeah, this documentary it's really interesting. It's like a really interesting kind of psychological study into this guy.
I wonder if it's like a kind of a forefather of, like a rehearsal Nathan
Fielder.
Yeah, I wonder if it's kind of like forefather of like Nathan Fielder type.
Yeah,
concept.
yeah. It's like a real like interesting like psychological study into this man and like his like need for love. To the point where, yeah, like you're saying, he plays it straight. I don't know if he is just he is just like playing it straight. Like this is him.
Yeah, which is very funny. Like part of me is wondering, was there ever even a grant to make this documentary, or did he piss it away?
I have like no idea. Like it's insane.
Like, did he piss away this grant, or was it ever real? I wonder.
Like, I actually cannot physically think of his path that he took, because he did not go the same path as like Sherman's armies. He like is like just dotting around. He's going back to where he was born, and then he goes back to Boston for a little bit, and then he goes down to like Carolina, like someplace in like South Carolina for a bit.
Yeah, no, like
like he's just literally bouncing around.
Yeah, we lost the plot at some point. I was like, bro, you're like a trip.
Yeah, none of this has anything to do with the historical documentary he set out to do.
Why are you harassing your ex with the camera out, dude?
Yeah, why are you like begging her to like tell you why like her current boyfriend is like better than you? It's funny. It's hilarious. You know.
Yeah.
It's just like something. It's just special. My thing is like it's very long. It's like 2 hours 40 minutes.
We didn't walk into it mentally prepared for it to be long.
Yeah, I usually like a documentary around the 90-minute mark.
Yeah, this works as a 2 hour 40, but we were not ready for that. We had actually just seen Spider-Man just before and 8, so like the first hour I was actually like a little then kind of locked in.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like I think it's unfortunate, but if like I was like in the right frame of mind, I think I probably would have rated it a 4.
Yeah, me too. The 3.4 is kind of like not a lot of production really goes into it.
He's fucking around.
He's fucking around with a camera. So like it can only be so like visually stimulating.
I think
so. Kind of the only thing that he's relying on for this movie is the story.
Yeah. And how subversive this kind of documentary is.
That's the craziest thing. And, like, it is just like a psychoanalysis of, like, funnily enough, the director's mind of, like, what he's going through.
Yeah, that's a little, it's a little psych eval of himself.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really cool. We may see the follow-up.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like what I've got to say on it. I think it's interesting. It's definitely something like I feel like I'll like bring up, like at like a party or a bar. If it's like, oh yeah, or even like.
Funnily enough, I think I'd enjoy it more on a rewatch.
Yeah,
I really was a little out of it at first.
Yeah, it's really something special. Like I can't think of anything to ever compare it to. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. No, like honestly, the closest thing I could think of is the later part of the rehearsal where he's remaking the house with that woman.
Yeah,
that's the closest thing I can think of. But that one's more on the nose with the kind of psyche eval. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's everything. Are you ready to wrap up?
Yeah. That's the movies we've seen.
What are we gonna see next week?
So what we will see this next week. We have a mystery movie, mystery screen at AMC. It's a Scream Unseen. It's looking like it may be Ice Cream Man, but I'm kind of hoping it's something else. We'll see. Then on Friday, we have Sheep in the Box. It's a Japanese film about some parents that adopt a cyborg kid. And we may see the documentary Cookie Queens. I've heard good things about it. The poster at AMC is like one of the worst things I've seen in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Saturday at Sunray, we have Mouth of Madness as part of their kind of Sam Neill memorial series. Also on Saturday, I think they are showing that documentary, a follow-up remake by Ross McElwee. So we may see that.
Yeah.
And that's what we got on deck for this week.
Okay.
Next week's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But this week is a little light on new releases.
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you thought of any of the movies we discussed in the comments. Let us know if you've seen them and your thoughts about it. Give us any recommendations of movies we should check out. Like and subscribe. And yeah, this has been Large Buttered Popcorn. We will see you next week.
Gotcha.